Today's topic is going to be Shuup Development 101. We're going to cover the following topics. The first one will be how to install and set up the Shuup enterprise code and how to gain access to that code. The next steps include how to set up the sandbox project and how to create a simple add-on for Shuup. For these demonstration purposes, we've created a document which will support all these installations, and it will be shared with you later on through internal channels at least. Panu will continue from this and go through the document and all the steps to get everything up and running. And if someone has any questions at any point, please do ask them. Go ahead.
Okay, so here is the basic Kickstart document that we're going to share you a little bit later. And at the start here, we have some sort of limitation what you should install first, but I'm going to skip those since point of this demonstration is not to install Python or Django projects. Basically, what I have here, I have a folder which has Shuup, and then the virtual environment, and I have Shuup already installed, and it's here. It's just the open source version, and what I did before I installed everything, and here with the E option, since we are now doing development. And I also run migration, but that's about it. So next step, when you're doing development, you likely want to check that you are able to run the tests. That usually proves that your installation is done correctly. Usually enough if some tests pass. And yeah, next you want to do the basic test the Shuup and run server. So what you need to do is create a super user. And yeah, by the way, when you have the Shuup installed with E option, you can always run anywhere this Shuup workbench command. And it acts the same way as the manage by file in the Django. So what I want to do now is to create a super user. And then the second command needed is the Shuup init, which initializes the main objects. Like this. And then we should be able to run the server. Okay, so what we are missing is here that we can see that something is not right. And by inspecting the browser, you can see that the static resources is not working. So what we need to do is we need to run the resources. All right, let's continue. Now we have the resources, so we should have a little bit better luck with the running Shuup. Yes. So you need to know to navigate to the station. Yeah. And now we use the super user what we created. And then we have this wizard here. If you don't need it, you can always disable it from the settings, but this is what the workbench gives you. Let's just go faster. Here is the something that you want to click. You want to install the categories, products, and carousels. Makes it a little bit the installation a little bit more complete. And then there's file things. Pretty much we're now ready. We can hit the publish store also. And then if we go to the storefront, we can see the Shuup. And we can order something. This toolbar here you can see because I'm an administrator. It's about editing the front-end content. All right, the order is now created, and now I should be able to see it from the administration. Yes, it's here. Basically, the merchant would just come here, and if it's not paid, create the payment, and then ship the thing. So now it's complete. So now that's pretty much what is Shuup, and from here you can manage the products, and from shop edits you can manage the shop, and here you can find a lot of all kinds of configurations. For example, these front end filters and different sort options. They are all configured from here. For example, if I want to filter by categories or limit the page or so on. Should come here somewhere. So we can test it. So now you can see the category filter here, and now we also have these sort options. This is important place, and this would be the place where would be the create shop for multiple storefronts. And how the multiple storefronts now works, that based on this domain value, it tries to figure out what shop is currently active. And then there is that multi-vendor features that we are talking about a lot, and it's all about the suppliers. So the vendors are suppliers, and they are selling their products in one of these shops or storefronts. And suppliers you can find here, and suppliers have their own products, stock management, and so forth. And here is the, you can activate the stock management from the supplier edit. But then again, there is a different own add-on for the multi-vendor feature, so it's not fully demonstrable here in this open source version, but basically it's the vendors are suppliers. So yeah, I don't know, that's about it. And now let's do this Kickstart add-on here. So we don't need to run the, why we can do the server running here. So let's just do the steps. And so first we need the actual place for the add-on. And we need a few basic files for it. I think I do it rather here in the Visual Code. Since this is not in Shuup, this is separate Python package, we need this basic files. It's pretty much same always. What I usually do and what we usually do is that we just use some existing add-on as the starting point, and then we get this as well. Do we have the actual? All right. Yes. It's pretty basic stuff. Here, what's important is the Shuup setup tools is there, and yeah, there is not too many interesting stuff. Pretty much every Shuup add-on has the same thing. And of course, this isort and flake configurations, you can do whatever you want. The next thing is to install this. So again, since we are on development mode, we want to install this with that. I think we are right for that. Then we will need to add this to the install apps. This demonstration is about the Shuup, around the Shuup sandbox. It's a little bit different. It's a Django project template for the enterprise code, but since we don't have the enterprise code here available, then we are using Shuup. But basically, it's just the same thing. We can update the workbench settings as well. Okay. Here and what we want is that. Yeah, and then it says to run server. We already are running server. This isn't that. Oh yeah. All right. We're a little bit too fast. Maybe an instant. So we actually create the addon now. And let's see. And maybe now I have to get Kickstart module. All right. Technically, you can use this add-ons module to enable new add-ons, but it's a little bit experimental, so you might want to also skip that part. That's an option. And now we are somewhere here. We added to the installed apps and we're running the server. So now I think we're going to add the actual content to the add-on. So basically what we have now here is the basic add-on that we would now should be able to start any kind of customization for the Shuup. And let's see. Jesus Christ. All right, so we need templates. Some place for the admin. It's 7 o'clock. Oh, here we have it. Some sort of file, actually. This was the admin module. Technically, it doesn't matter what you call it, what folders you create, only that this template is important for the channel, but we really like to put everything that goes to the admin, Shuup admin, under the admin module always, and that is pretty basic template structure for channel. Maybe the admin folder here is a little bit too much since this add-on will be having one template only, but that's about it. Then we need the apps file where we put all the configurations for this application. Let's move forward. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we put this template there. I think the point here is to create an admin page which shows this, renders this template. And yeah, pretty much the basic stuff. So here we have the admin module. So what the Shuup is about, it's built from 3 parts where the, let me find this. 3 parts where the one is the core, which has all the models and all the business logic. You can find the products here and so on. Then there is this admin, which is not Django admin or anything. This is totally customized for the Shuup. And what we are now doing here is that we are creating admin module. And you can find here Shuup admin base, and you can find the base for the admin module. And what this Shuup admin is, it's just a combination of different admin modules. And what is admin module is, it's something that defines a bunch of URLs for different Django views. And these views can be any Django view, and you just define the URLs. You can use these helper utils, but shouldn't be needed. And then the third part of the Shuup is the front. And usually with the project, you are not customizing the front actually, but you are customizing the theme over it. And what this front is about, that it implements all these basic views like product and category views, and then the checkout. But all these should be so customizable that you hardly need to change these when you are doing the project, but instead maybe overwrite these templates or change your theme. And the default theme for the open source you can find here from under the themes, find the classic gray. And basically, when starting a new theme, this classic gray probably is a good starting point for everybody. We also have other theme in the enterprise packages which goes definite theme, but that for now you can see it, but that's the other option for the theme for the new projects. Let's get back to this add-on. I just tried to explain a little bit what we are actually doing here, what these admin modules that we are now creating means. But let's see if I can find this. All right, I think we managed. Just copy paste from here. PDF. All right, so we need an admin module. Call it to Kickstart. Then we could define those URLs. Let's see if we can copy this faster times. All right. And what is this about? It's just a link to the view, and what this admin URL does. This is just basically a wrapper for the permission layer, and in Shuup it would look is used something like this. So here on the admin side, it calls this get module URLs, and it basically loops every module installed and calls the get URLs, and basically they are then extended here. So, and other than that, this is pretty almost basic stuff. But yeah, this get URLs, this what you need all the time, pretty much every time. Second one is that we need to define the menu entry. So we could access this straight with the URL, but usually the admin module needs some sort of menu entry to access the actual views. So here it goes. That's about it. And like you saw here, and you can check from here later, there's all kinds of other options you can define also. There on the admin model, for example, the extra permissions or the dashboard blocks or search results or something like that. And next step would be here. All this is explained here too. If you need that. See, and now we are next doing the view. So we figured out that we need this kind of Shuup Kickstart view, and should be here. So we actually need to make the view happen. So this is just a basic template view. It doesn't help you too much, but usually what we add here is some sort of form view, or in a Shuup, pretty good example is to go check this how this shop's admin module is done. And for example here, usually the views are some sort of edit view, for example, and to edit some objects, or then the other option is to list those objects. And usually in Shuup, what we do for listing objects, we use this pico table list view, which is customized, or it's a Shuup customized Shuup list view, and it's basically this one. So it looks the same in all the places, and it has these filter options automatically installed, so you can skip a lot of work by using this instead of creating your own list. And important parts are here to define what columns are shown, and define the query set. And then let's go back to the add-on. We create this here, and we already created template here on the earlier phase. For some reason, there's no content, but we can put something like test comment here for now. And you can next week do the app configuration. You can put it straight here in the init, but usually what we do is that we we have a separate place for those, because there might be some at the end of the day, so it's a little bit more readable, I guess. So basically what it is about, it's defines the app name, and then for Shuup there's we have implemented this provides option. So with this provides you can extend Shuup in multiple ways. Of what we are doing now, that we are adding the custom admin module, and we just need to make sure that this is correct. Okay, and more about this provides you can find from the documentation. I think we have a link in the GitHub also if you go from there, but it's faster to go to GitHub. So in GitHub we have this getting started, pretty useful, and it should have almost the same information that we covered already here, and here is about the installation and so on, and how to run the tests. Now what we are trying to find is the provides. All right, so probably something that you should read, but what I was after is that here is a list of all the provide options that you have in Shuup, and there is a lot of those, and all these are something that you can use here in the app configuration and extend Shuup with. So pretty much in the starting point when you are learning to develop with Shuup, it's a good idea to go through all these and a little bit get better idea what is the option to extend Shuup. Okay, so now we have the tab configuration, and let's see. That should do it. Maybe. So this is a different same view. Okay. So let's first test this admin part and see that it works. We should now have an admin module with menu entry somewhere under settings. Okay, here it is, Kickstart, and it renders something like this. So that this is actually okay. And the second part of this is it seems to add some sort of front URL which points to a different view. So let's do that while we add it. So again we need template. Let's use different templates just in case. Let's put the front there so we know that it's different. Okay, so okay, so here this is. So what is it that we're doing is that we are exposing custom URLs from the add-on, which is then available through front end. And how this works again is with the provides, and I can show you a few minutes. Just add it here and it's fine. But how does this work is that in Shuup front, in the URLs, we have a few options here to provide these basic options. You can also change these on project level or add more in the project level, but sometimes it's easier that they are in the add-on instead of some shared place. Okay, now we should have the Kickstart also. You should just be able to access the front. Okay, so now the Kickstart, the URL works, but there's still something. This is not front. So now we have been doing a little bit too much copying and pasting. So we change this to front page instead of admin page. Might not be the right path, but we see soon enough on our right device. So now we have in the Shuup front, we have this custom view. And now this Kickstart is done. So basically what Shuup is about, I can show you one more time, is that this open source version is just for development. And you can use it to create these add-ons and test your environment. But in the end, you want the Django project. And we have here an example project template, but also we have this sandbox repository that's referenced here. You will get later access to it. It's pretty much same as this one, but a little bit more stuff in it. And here you can see that all the Shuup apps or apps. So the first choice you pretty much need to do is that what you want from Shuup. Basically, in theory, Shuup works with only this Shuup core, but usually you also need the admin. Sometimes, but not necessarily, or you need the API and the add-ons and taxes and so on. But the most important one is Shuup core, Shuup admin, and Shuup front. And what we are, when you are doing the project, then you are, instead of editing these existing add-ons, you are creating new add-ons which implement some integration or custom admin modules for products or something. And instead of editing the one we have in Shuup, you create a new one, and you can extend it from the Shuup version, but in the end you want it to be separate. And the second way you do the project and customization is using these provides to add more content to Shuup. And now what we did, we created this Kickstart add-on, which creates an admin module and also creates a front view. And this is pretty basic add-on, and probably there's no purpose of this in any case. But also, if you go to the Shuup, we have here a lot of different add-on options, and it might be helpful to see this while doing this tutorial or getting used with the Shuup development. But for example, this Stripe integration is pretty good example of how would you do a payment gateway with Shuup. Also, this checkout fee integration is it's even more simple and gives you a pretty good idea what is the basic add-on. And yeah, there is others too. And also here is the most important links can be found from here too. And whenever you have issues with Shuup, probably the best way is to just create new issues on GitHub, and we can then comment those. And for example, here we already have some new, probably something I already faced a few minutes ago. Yeah, okay. Well, anyways, this was it. And Janne, do you have something to add? Okay. Nobody's listening anymore. That's good stuff.
Yeah, I don't have anything to ask. It's just that heating went on and it's pretty loud. I don't know if you hear this background noise. No.
No.
Okay, cool. So
no, I don't hear any background
okay.
noise. I got 100% like
okay,
quality
cool.
on this.
Okay, so yeah, so Panu went through installing the add-on and basic Shuup setup. The document, like Panu explained, goes more into details with enterprise environment, but this should be a great starting point for anyone who's interested in coding with Shuup and creating add-ons. I think somewhere in the near future we will go through more the provide system because it's a really important part of Shuup. But in the meantime, I think everyone should be reading the documents like Panu said. Does anyone have any questions at this point when it comes to creating add-ons? Okay, so Tommy, do you have some closing remarks at this point?
Yeah. So of course we were recording this and we will open a partner section this week on our Shuup.com page, and we'll send an invitation to anyone interested to accessing those information we have there. We'll have an events calendar. So basically what Janne said there is that we will have every week, probably we're going to have it a little better time for American time zone people to access this, since there are not too many people from Europe right now attending. But we will have 1 or 2 next week, and hopefully if any of you right now attending this have any questions, or you want to focus on some parts like add-ons or whatever specific areas of developing Shuup, please send us some information so we can focus on those on our next tutorial. But yes, we will have this continuing every week from now on, and hopefully we'll be able to create enough material for anyone to start using Shuup and coding Shuup in the future by going through these recordings. Panu, Janne, do you have anything else to add right now?
I don't have anything to add at this point, so.
Okay, all right, so Panu?
No.
Okay.
Basically,
yeah.
Yeah, I can just that if you don't have access to these codes, it doesn't matter. too much, you can, like I did here in the demonstration, you can use the open source version for all this. So just these are not showstoppers yet here in the start if you don't have access to. That's about it.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Panu and Janne, and all the listeners there. So we will send the recording to the Slack channels shortly after today, and before the next Wednesday's meetup, we should have the partner section on Shuup.com available, and then you have all these materials there available too. All right, thank you everyone, and have a good rest of the day.